That I suppose she must be out. Of course I will. I'll pass on the message, but I'm afraid that's no guarantee. No. Well, do cheer up, I'm sure. Yes, all right. Goodbye, Ian.
Oh, dear. Was that the Ian Clare went out with last week?
Yes, but the Ian Clare won't be going out with again.
Why, I thought she enjoyed her evening.
She did, but I'm afraid Ian is a victim of Clare's new get tough policy.
What's that?
She doesn't go out with any man more than once.
Why ever not?
Oh, it's still part of the fallout from her breakup with Julian. She's decided that rather than staying in her flat moping about one man, she's going to go out with as many as possible. It's the shotgun rather than the rifle.
What?
Lots of little pellets rather than one big bullet.
Oh, so it was one of the little pellets on the phone just now.
Yes, I'm afraid a rather lovesick little pellet. But Clare never seems to be in when he phones. She won't phone him back, so what can he do? Can't help feeling sorry for the poor lad.
Oh, I'm sure he'll pull through.
Yes, I just don't like the idea of Clare becoming a hard-faced bitch. I don't think she's really like that.
She's not being a hard-faced bitch.
No, I suppose not.
She's just playing the field.
Yes.
And she does seem to be having a very full social life.
And say that again. Out every evening, so far as I can tell. I mean, I'd have thought at her current rate of progress and sticking to her only one date principle, she'd have worked through all the eligible men within a 50-mile radius by now and be down to the wimps and young conservatives. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Her phone keeps on ringing.
Well, she's a very attractive girl.
Yes, of course she is, but I don't know. I never had the nerve at her age. At the end of every date, I used to be on tenterhooks, wondering whether I'd ever see him again.
When you were Clare's age, Sarah, you were already married to Henry.
Yes, well, I suppose marriage is the ultimate way of ensuring that you do see him again.
No, it seems to me Clare's behaving very sensibly.
Well,
men like being treated firmly.
Do they?
Oh, yes. It makes them come back for more.
Really? When are you going to open up your torture chamber, Miss Whiplash? Nothing. Anyway, you're probably right. I don't know, though. With Clare at the moment, it all just seems so joyless.
Well, there wasn't a lot of joy about when she was moping in her flat all the time.
True?
You were the one who kept saying she should go out more.
Yes, I know, and I should be delighted that she's taking my advice.
Exactly.
Mind you, I don't think it was just my advice.
What do you mean?
I think your cousin Lillian had something to do with it.
Oh?
I think she gave Clare a few tips on her method of dealing with men.
Cousin Lillian's hardly qualified to give advice on the subject. Her with her 3 husbands. So far as I can tell, Lillian's method of dealing with men involves marrying them in bulk.
Well, maybe.
Hello, Mummy. Hello, Granny.
Evening,
Hello,
love.
dear.
Ian just rang.
Did he?
Asked if you'll ring him back.
Uh-huh.
Well, will you?
No.
And if he rings again...
You can tell him I won't ring back.
Look, Claire, I don't really like taking on the role of a humane killer for your wounded swains.
Well, just say you'll pass on the message. Then when I don't ring him, he'll get the point, won't he?
Yes, I suppose he will.
Look, Mummy, there's somebody else who might ring tonight.
Oh.
Bloke called Don. I'll be out, so I hope you don't mind me giving him your number.
Well...
Anyway, he's going to want to invite me out for dinner.
Is he?
Tell him I could do next Thursday or the following Monday, and he can pick me up here at 8.
I see. Right. Your social secretary has taken that in.
Look, you're the one who kept saying I should get out more.
I know, and you're doing exactly what I asked. I just wish sometimes, Claire, that you could...
What?
Well, do things by halves. You know, just occasionally.
Claire, dear, while we're talking about your social calendar...
Yes?
You haven't forgotten about Sunday week, have you?
Sunday week?
It's the christening.
Christening?
Vera Polling's granddaughter Stephanie's new baby.
Oh.
I do want us all to be there.
Why?
Well, Vera will be there, and so will her daughter Tricia, you know, the one who's married to a merchant banker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Stephanie, obviously, and, well, I just think we should make a good showing, too.
Family solidarity, eh, Mother? You're never going to be upstaged by Vera Polling, are you?
That has nothing to do with it, Sarah. I just think it'd be nice if we were all there.
No, sorry, I can't do it.
Why ever not, Claire? Have you got something else on?
No, I just can't stand going to church these days.
Why ever not?
It'd be hypocritical for me to go.
Why?
Because I don't believe in anything.
Oh, really, Claire, don't be silly. Goodness, if everyone worried about details like that, the churches would be empty. Come on, you used to enjoy church.
When I was about 12, maybe. No, sorry, Granny, I'm not going.
Oh, but Claire, love, it's only a christening. It's not as if you're going to have to take holy orders or anything.
I am not going.
Claire, all right, maybe at the moment you don't believe in God.
It's not just that I don't believe in God. I think the concept of God is positively harmful. Why should people waste their time praying to someone who doesn't exist?
This is blasphemy, you know, Claire.
Claire, for a lot of people, God does exist.
Shouldn't think he'd have the nerve to exist given his track record.
What on earth do you mean?
All the unanswered prayers. All the prayers that didn't work. If God does exist, I think he should face up to the fact that he's no good at the job and jack it in.
Claire, you're just being perverse.
No, I'm not. I've prayed a lot in the last few months, a very great deal, and not one of my prayers has been answered.
So? That doesn't...
Well, what do you do in normal business practice?
I'm not sure that God is bound by normal business practice.
You're dealing with a supplier who fails to deliver the goods. You give him a few chances, and when he still doesn't come up with the goods, what do?
Amaze me.
You change your supplier.
I see.
This is blasphemy, you know.
Just one small point, though, Claire.
What?
Well, having sacked God for incompetence...
Yes?
Who's the supplier you're going to change to?
I'd say it was a very Thatcherite view of religion, judging God simply by results. You know, if he doesn't answer your prayers, then you withhold your faith in him. A sort of market economy approach.
Well, it's certainly part of the new pragmatic, uncaring Claire. That conforms to your definition of Thatcherite?
Yes, well, pretty much so. Yes, I think we've finally become a completely secular society.
The trouble is I can see exactly why Claire's doing it.
Basic perverseness.
Well, there's a bit of that. She's always had a bloody-minded streak. But I think she's still just deeply hurt and angry about Julian, and she's externalising the anger, channeling it away from herself.
And unfortunately, God's managed to get in the firing line.
Yes. Well, that doesn't worry me too much. I think God can cope with Claire's displeasure. His back is proverbially broad.
Yeah?
But Claire's upset Mother, and I'm not so happy about that.
I never thought of Eleanor as particularly religious.
No, she isn't really. Not passionately committed on the subject. She regards church as a kind of traditional English comfort, you know, on a par with cream teas or the test match commentary.
Well, lots of people feel that way about it. I mean, isn't it strange? When you think about the emotions religion can arouse, the wars that are even now being fought around the world in the name of religion, and then you think of England. Can there be any system which has sanitized and house-trained religion quite as much as the Anglican Church?
I'm not to think of one. But Mother's not worried by the Church's lack of passion. Indeed, that's part of the appeal. It's safe and cosy. It doesn't challenge her. Church just becomes another opportunity to try and upstage Vera Poling in a new hat. But Claire's anti-religious passion, that has got Mother worried. It's untidy. It doesn't fit her neat preconceptions.
Yeah, I can see that.
Do you have any religion, Russell?
Oh, I don't think I do, really. I mean, I approve of most of the humanistic principles of Christianity, but it seems to me you can have those without the God bit. No, the formal side doesn't make a lot of sense as far as I'm concerned. And no system of religion seems really to have coped with the problem of homosexuality.
You actually use the word problem.
Well, I mean problem for the church. It's not a problem for the homosexual.
Ah.
Unless, of course, he happens to be a vicar. What the Sun once, with its customary delicatesse, dubbed a pulpit pufter. That clearly must raise problems. Though maybe they relish the challenge. I think anyone who goes into the church nowadays must have a strong streak of masochism.
I don't see why.
No, don't get the impression I'm anti-religious. Clearly some people get a lot out of it, and that's fine by me. As long as they don't frighten the horses. And, of course, as long as they don't talk about it.
What do you mean?
Oh, come on, Sarah. I'd rather be sat next to someone at dinner who's just done his own conveyancing than someone who announces he's just become a Christian.
Perhaps.
What about you? You got any faith?
Yes, I think deep down I probably still have. I mean, I suppose I grew up with Mother's sort of cream tea, test match commentary brand of religion. Then Henry's dying knocked all that a bit sideways. I was angry, like Claire. I turned violently anti-religion for a while. No, I don't know. I seem to have mellowed a bit. And I don't think, through all the upheavals, I ever quite lost the feeling that there was a God of some sort around somewhere.
What kind of God? God with a sense of humour?
No, I don't think so. Well, either you have to believe that God has no sense of humour at all, or that he has an enormous, cosmic and very black sense of humour. It's probably easier to think of him with none.
So, how do you see him?
Never really defined it. I suppose I see God as rather authoritarian, a bit old-fashioned, very strict about details.
You sound rather like Eleanor.
Yes. Good heavens, Russell, you could be right. Do you think Mother brought me up to believe in a God made in her own image, and I responded?
Well, it's possible. Of course, if that were the case, you know what you'd have done, don't you?
What?
Fulfilled Eleanor's most extreme fantasy.
Yes. How ghastly.
The point is, Sarah dear, that God's got a lot on his plate.
I'll say.
And he can't be expected to spend his valuable time dealing with a lot of details.
Oh?
So what he wants from people is that they should use their own initiative to save him the trouble of having to do everything himself.
Could you be just a little more specific, Mother?
Very well. Look, all right, God has left us a lot of instructions as to how to behave.
You mean in the Bible?
The Bible, the Book of Common Prayer, that sort of thing, yes. Those are just basic guidelines for behaviour, but obviously not every specific moral case is going to be covered in them, so they do sometimes need a little amplification.
But surely that's what the clergy are there for. They can amplify and explain things.
Oh, in some cases, yes. It depends, of course, on the individual clergyman. I mean, I don't think I'd take too seriously any amplification or explanation I heard from the new curate at St. Nicholas's.
Why not?
Well, you only have to listen to him to know why not. His vowels, dear. It's clearly a dreadful oik.
But surely the church should be open to all kinds of different people from different walks of life, different classes.
Yes, of course. People from any class can go to church, so long as they dress properly. But you do have to be a bit selective when it comes to the clergy. I mean, the clergy have to speak out loud, in public. They're almost as important as BBC announcers. You'd think the very least they do would be to give them voice tests.
The new curate's perfectly audible, Mother. When he preaches, you hear every word.
It's not a matter of whether one's able to hear every word. It's a matter of whether one wants to hear every word. And with vowels like that...
He can't help the way he speaks.
I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming the church management that puts someone like that in a place like this. I mean, this is a nice middle-class area. I'm sure there are lots of inner-city parishes where vowels like his would go down very well indeed, probably not even be noticed.
But he was sometimes such a snob.
Anyway, I don't want to be sidetracked. I was talking about the Bible and the Book of Common Prayer.
And the fact that they sometimes need amplification.
Yes.
Though not from the new curate of St. Nicholas's.
No. And what I was saying was that God appreciates it when people use a bit of gumption in religious matters.
Gumption?
Yes. He likes people to think on their feet.
I'm not quite with you, Mother. I'm afraid you'll have to amplify and explain a bit more for me.
Well, as I say, God's given the guidelines, and from there on, you're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Things change. New moral dilemmas arise every day. Things that weren't around when the Bible was written. I mean, for instance, to take a random example, they didn't have milk bottles when the Bible was written, did they?
Well, they must have put milk in something, Mother.
Oh, yes, but probably goat skins or urns or terracotta pots or something else. Not milk bottles. But what I'm saying is that there's no mention of milk bottles in the Bible.
No, I accept that. I don't think there is. Of course, Jael brought forth butter in a lordly dish, didn't she? Can't remember what she did with the milk.
Sarah, that's not relevant. But you see, the Bible gives us no guidelines on how to deal with the problem of milk bottles.
No, it certainly doesn't. What is the problem of milk bottles, Mother?
Well, obviously, whether you should put them on the table or not.
Ah, I see. Well, you're right. The Bible does give absolutely no advice on whether you should put milk bottles on the table or not.
Which is exactly the point I'm making. The Bible doesn't answer the question, but it provides the reader with the moral equipment to answer it for him or herself.
You mean there isn't an 11th commandment which deals specifically with the question of milk bottles?
No, but anyone who'd been brought up on the Bible would automatically know that it's wrong to have a milk bottle on the table.
Wrong?
Yes, and that it's right to put milk in a milk jug and put that on the table.
Don't you think you're rather debasing the words right and wrong by using them in this context, Mother?
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, the milk bottle issue is surely a matter of etiquette rather than morality.
No, it's symptomatic. People who behave properly in small things will have the moral equipment to behave properly in bigger things.
And have the moral equipment to know that it's wrong to have oiky vowels.
Now you're the one who's debasing words, Sarah. People who've been brought up on the Bible wouldn't think ugly vowels were actually wrong.
Ah.
Well, they just know that it's nicer to have nice vowels.
Oh, right. I see. And you're saying God likes people to work things like that out for themselves?
Yes. He provided the Holy Writ, and it's up to the individual to interpret it.
Yes. Of course, it would be possible for the individual to interpret the Holy Writ in such a way that whatever the individual happened to think was right would be right.
Yes. Well, if the individual was right in the first place, then there's no harm done, is there?
No. And you yourself manage to find justification in the Bible for everything that you do and think. Is that right, Mother?
Well, yes, I suppose I do, actually. I think I'm just fortunate to be one of those people who happens to be right in the first place.
I see.
I noticed your light wasn't when I came back. Hope you don't mind.
No, nice to see you. Just getting to the end of this bottle of wine. Help me out.
Well, I had quite a lot at dinner, but yes, please. Did anyone ring?
Someone called Dick wanted to take you to a party on Saturday week. I said I only knew your commitments for the next 5 days. Suggested you ring you at work.
Fine.
And Ian rang again?
Did he?
Yes. He's a nice boy, Claire.
So?
Well, so surely you could just give him a call. You don't have to go out with him again. It's just common politeness to return his call.
What's the point?
I just thought of all the men you've been out with recently, he seemed the nicest.
Yes, I think he probably is, but who needs nice men?
I'd have thought nice men were preferable to nasty men.
I don't know. Nasty men are easier to despise.
Yes, but that's what you want from a man, just someone you can despise.
Beats moping around my flat every evening. Oh, they're just all so predictable. The ego, the chat, the grope. It's no problem despising them.
And Ian was different?
Yes. He wasn't just trying to impress. He even missed out on the grope.
As I say, sounds nice.
Look, I've tried nice men. Julian was nice. Or Julian seemed nice, and that didn't work, did it? So I've had it up to here with nice men. It's better for me to meet men on their own terms. Them out for what they can get, me out for what I can get.
Tough cookie meets tough cookie.
That's it.
The thing is, Claire, I never really thought of you as a tough cookie.
No. Well, it just goes to show you that people can change, doesn't it, Mummy?
I suppose so.
You've got to be tough to get through this life.
Yes, but there are different ways of being tough.
Well, my way's working fine at the moment.
Is it?
Yes. Look, Mummy, you didn't get tough early enough.
Oh?
You got married to Daddy when you were very young, and it was all lovely, and when he died, you were totally unprepared for it.
Well, I don't think anyone can be fully prepared for a thing like that.
That's why you fell apart so completely. You didn't have any protective shell around you. There was nothing between you and the pain.
I see. And that's what you're doing at the moment, is it? Building up your protective shell?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing, and it's working.
Yes?
It's finally got Julian out of my system anyway.
Has it?
Oh, yes, it most certainly has. If he came crawling to me on his hands and knees, I'd slam the door in his face.
Oh, well, I suppose that's a step forward, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's your life, if the way you're currently conducting it is working.
It is.
Fine. Claire, about this christening on Sunday.
No.
No, not for any religious reasons, not to please me. Just for Granny. It means a lot to her. I know it's only for reasons of vanity and one-upmanship.
No.
All right. So, what's the programme for tomorrow? Who's the lucky man you're going to despise over dinner tomorrow evening?
Toby. Theatre with Richard on Thursday, disco with Stephen Friday.
These men, I don't know how you keep up the pace.
No.
Don't you get tired?
Yes. Yes, I get terribly tired. Mummy, I don't think I've ever been so tired in my life. So tired and so alone.
Claire, oh, come here.
Mummy!
Oh, darling. Oh, sweetheart, it's all right. I was just thinking, that's the way the tough cookie crumbles.
But, Sarah, it's a bit simplistic to blame the moral decline of the world on its lack of religion.
Sure. But one would like to think people being brought up on Christian principles are going to be at least aware of certain moral issues, are going to know that, for instance, beating up their fellow men is a bad idea.
Well, that's the point of view. In some parts of the world, of course, religion is seen as a justification for beating up one's fellow men. Northern Ireland, Lebanon, I could go on.
Yes.
It's back to the eternal problem of evil. No religion has really cracked that one to universal satisfaction. You know, the old chestnut, if God is just as he's supposed to be, then why does he allow so many ghastly things to happen to the innocuous human beings he's created?
I suppose the pat answer to that would be that God's definition of justice is different from human definitions of justice.
But that's casuistry. That's too easy. God is the eternal mover of goalposts. God saying whatever he happens to think at any given moment is automatically right. Behaving like Eleanor again, in fact.
Yes. I think God possibly has a little more justification for making those kind of claims than Mother has.
Why?
Well, omnipotence gives one a bit of a head start in most things, doesn't it?
Yes, I suppose so. I think, actually, what I really do regret about the decline of religion in this country is the cultural deprivation it's caused.
What, people not seeing church art, not hearing church music?
Oh, no. The good church art still gets seen as a tourist attraction. The good church music stays in the orchestral repertoire. No, I'm talking about the authorized version of the Bible, the ultimate good book, the great glowing exception to the rule that committees designing horses always come up with camels. The authorized version is pure thoroughbred. I think it's a dreadful pity nowadays everyone doesn't grow up with that language rolling and reverberating in their ears.
I presume you're not talking about the authorised version's religious content.
No, just its rhythms, its cadences, the majesty of its writing. It seems to me that book is the greatest single thing the Church of England's got going for it.
Yet you won't even hear it in a lot of churches nowadays.
Yeah, because of the dreaded New English Bible, that equivalent of fast food and a long tradition of religious banquets.
But you can understand why it was done. I mean, to make the Bible more accessible to modern ears.
Yes, but that's exactly what's wrong with it. Accessibility is the last thing you want from a holy text. You want mystery and majesty. So by definition, you want a degree of inaccessibility.
I'm not sure I agree with you. Surely it's important that the dwindling number of people to whom religion appeals should at least find it comprehensible.
No. Comprehensibility is for the experts. Let theologians and academics sort out what it means. All the average punter going in for religion requires is a little bit of humility and a great deal of blind faith.
You know, in your anti-religious way, you're quite a bigot, Russell.
Yes, of course I am. Religion's always been very good at encouraging bigotry, and to the true bigot, it's the bigotry itself that's important, not what you're actually being bigoted about.
I see. But surely...
Bigoted books?
Russell, it's Claire.
Bygone books?
Russell, it's Claire.
Oh, right. Good morning. Would you like to speak to Sarah?
Please.
Mother checking up on me.
No, daughter checking up.
Oh. Morning, Claire, love. How are things?
Wonderful, Mummy.
I beg your pardon?
Mummy, this is just the most wonderful day of my life.
Is it?
You'll never guess what's just happened.
No, I don't think I probably will.
Julian's just wrong.
Julian?
Yes, you remember.
Oh, yes, I remember Julian. The Julian who lived within Australia. The Julian you told me last night you'd finally got out of your system.
Yes, isn't it wonderful?
Well, yes, probably.
He rang from Sydney, but he's leaving in a couple of days, and he said he's missed me and he can't wait to see me.
Ah.
Isn't that just the best news you've ever heard in your life? Anyway, I must get off the phone. Got a lot of calls to make.
Oh, yes?
Got to cancel all the dates I've made for the next fortnight.
Ah.
Oh, Mummy, aren't you pleased?
Well, Claire, I'm very pleased to hear you sounding so happy.
Yeah, terrific, isn't it? See you later. Bye.
What's happened?
Well, let's just say Claire's new protective shell is about to have its first major test.
I thought that was a lovely service.
Yes, it all seemed to go off very well. Stephanie was looking terrific, wasn't she, Claire?
Blooming.
Clearly motherhood suits her. I don't envy her with 2 children under 3. Let's go through to the sitting room. Anyone want tea or anything?
No thanks. I'm still full of christening cake.
Me too. No, it's really done a lot for Stephanie, having kids brought her out.
Yes, and she's nearly got her figure back.
Not that there was ever that much to get back.
Granny, don't be so bitchy.
Well, Stephanie always was a big girl, Claire, you have to admit.
Yes, I suppose so. But she was always cut out to be an Earth Mother figure, and now that's what she is.
Vera was mercifully quiet, wasn't she?
Well, I didn't notice.
Well, she didn't go on as much as she usually does about having great-grandchildren. Now she's got 2 of them. You'd have thought she'd be worse rather than better. Maybe she's biding her time. Reckoned that the christening itself was making sufficient impact, so she didn't need to shoot her mouth off as well.
Honestly, Mother, you make your relationship with Vera Poling sound like open warfare.
Well, it's sometimes not far off. Of course, that's not how I want it to be. It's just that Vera's so competitive. I'm not one to make invidious comparisons between people all the time, but poor old Vera is simply unable to get over the fact that I'm more intelligent and attractive than she is. Or, of course, that I have a better dress sense than she does.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, fancy wearing amethysts before 6 o'clock in the evening. And that hat she had on. I've seen more stylish things run over on the motorway. What, dear?
You must stop being so bitchy.
I'm not being bitchy, dear. I just speak as I find. Now, Vera, of course, does have a bit of a tendency towards bitchiness, but I pride myself on never stooping to her level.
I see, Mother. Quite honestly, given the way you and Vera behave, I'm surprised you go on seeing each other.
Why shouldn't I see her, Sarah? Vera's my dearest friend.
Yes, but she's a dreadful snob and a gossip.
And I'll thank you, Sarah, not to be rude about my dearest friend.
I see. All right, Mother, fine.
And now, if you'll excuse me, Sarah, dear, I do feel a little weary. I think I'll just go and put my feet up with songs of praise.
Good idea, Mother.
It's coming from a church in Cromer.
Really?
And Valerie Brown on the pension counter's sister Mary had a chiropodist who retired to live in Cromer.
Oh.
So that'll be something to look out for, won't it? See you later, dear.
Yes, Mother. Oh, dear. Oh, Claire, I forgot. There was another message from Ian yesterday evening.
Oh, it's all right. I rang him this morning.
I hope you were nice to him.
Yes, sure. I was very apologetic about not ringing him earlier, and I said that unfortunately I couldn't go out with him again, but I said it very nicely.
I thought you dropped your one-date-only rule.
Yes, I have.
Then why couldn't you go out with him again?
Well, because Julian's coming back.
Yes, of course. I was just thinking, you know, it might not do any harm to hedge your bets, keep seeing other people, just in case things didn't work out when Julian comes back.
But they will, Mummy.
Well, it didn't exactly work out perfectly last time, did they?
No, but this will be different. Look, Mummy, if you're trying to put a damper on my...
I'm not trying to put a damper on anything. I just don't want you to get hurt again.
I won't be.
Because although, as I know, you've been building up your protective shell during the last few weeks, I'm not convinced that it's got hard enough yet to cope with a real emotional battering.
There isn't going to be a real emotional battering.
All right, you say so.
Look, you didn't hear what Julian was like when he rang on Friday.
No, true, I didn't.
Don't worry, Mummy, it's going to be all right.
Is it? Good.
Anyway, I'd better go and get ready.
Going out again? I thought you'd cancelled all your dates.
It's not a date. I'm going to Evensong.
Evensong?
Yes.
But Claire, you went to communion this morning. You've just come back from a christening. There's no need for you to take up residence in the church.
But I said I would.
Said you would who too?
God. In my prayers, I promised if God answered my prayers, then I'd go to church more.
Oh, so the prayers were about Julian.
Of course.
And God came up with the goods.
Exactly.
And is now back on your list of bona fide traders with whom you're happy to do business.
I wouldn't put it like that, but...
Well, you certainly don't do anything by halves, do you, Claire?
What do you mean?
Don't worry. Go on, love. Off to Evensong you go.
Yes, see you later, Mummy.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know, God. You don't often move in a mysterious way. I'm honoured to be told, Claire. I thought now you had your own flat, you came and went as you pleased.
I do.
Mind you, we're always glad to know where you're going, aren't we, Sarah? Then we know where to worry about your not having come back from.
Thank you, Granny.
Are you going out wearing that blouse?
Yes. What's wrong with it?
Well, of course, dear, white lace is always very nice, but, well, the cut is rather... In my young day, you know, a girl liked to leave something to the imagination.
Yes, but in your young day, imaginations were that much more inventive. Men could get steamed up for months over a glimpse of ankle. Nowadays, you can go to a disco stark naked and not stir a flicker of interest.
Can you, dear? How do you know?
Granny, look, I just dropped in to say that if Gary rings...
Gary with the pink hair and the piece of scrap metal in his ear?
Yes. Mummy, could you tell him that we'll be going down to the Red Lion for a drink? Oh, if we're not there, we'll have moved on to the White Horse. If we're not in the White Horse, we'll probably have gone on to Gemma's party. But if that's a drag, Wayne and Paul are giving one, so we might be there. And if we're not at any of those, probably be in the Curry Queen.
Ah.
Have you got that?
Well, I'm afraid I got lost round the White Horse.
It's all right, Claire, I've got it. Either Gemma's, or Wayne and Paula's, or the Curry Queen.
That's it. He may not ring, actually. He'll only call if he's at a loose end. I'll expect he'll find something lively has turned up.
Your evening sounds fairly lively to me.
Be a complete drag. I don't want to go out at all.
Then why are you going?
Well, you can't sit in on a Saturday night, can you?
It has been done.
I'll see you lunchtime tomorrow.
Yes, I'm glad we've got back into the habit of having Sunday lunch together.
Well, it's a dead day Sunday. Nothing else happens, does it?
No, Claire.
Bye.
You know, I do sometimes wonder
Claire
whether...
is fine, Mother.
Yes, of course. Far be it from me to interfere.
Far. Remember our discussion yesterday when we all resolved to respect each other's privacy?
Yes, of course. I hadn't forgotten. So, you're staying in this evening?
Yes.
Ernest Moore is coming round to my flat for a spot of supper later.
So you said.
You'd be welcome to drop in. You needn't worry that you'd be interrupting anything.
It never occurred to me that I would be.
And what, may I ask, do you mean by that?
Nothing. No, I mean, I didn't... Absolutely nothing.
Good. I'll have you know, a couple of months back I might have been very chary of inviting you, but Ernest and I have had a long talk and decided that our relationship works better on a platonic level.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
So, as I say, you would be most welcome to drop by.
Well, no, it's very sweet of you, but no, I'll be fine here, thank you.
What will you do?
Oh, I don't know. Dare say there's something on the television.
Saturday evening? I doubt it.
There'll be a movie. So long as it doesn't say first showing on British television, I'll be fine. Pass the paper.
Well, what's wrong with first showing on British television?
Usually means it's something incomprehensibly American that never got released over here and was thrown in with a job lot of movies they bought from the States.
Ah.
Oh, dear, The Awakening Search.
That's the title?
A young baseball star at a Midwestern university is amused by the hero worship of a girl student crippled by polio. When he is paralyzed after a car crash, the balance of their relationship changes. I see, no. Apart from anything else, the fatal words are there.
First showing on...
Yes.
Well, as I say, if you'd like to join Ernest and me...
No. I'm always complaining I don't get any time to read all the books Russell lends me. Here's my golden opportunity.
Well, if you're sure...
Yes, I'll be just fine with... Oh.
Now, this could be somebody inviting you out for the evening.
Oh, yes, I don't think. Now, they were starting at the Red Lion, weren't they? Hello? 74923? Moira! Hello. Yes, it has been a long time. Lovely to hear you. You're well, I hope? Oh, good. And Frank? Great. Oh, yes, I'd love to. No, it'd be super. Talk about old times. Well, shall I get my diary? Oh, tonight. Tonight. Look, I'm sorry, Maura, I've got something on. Yes. Yes, it would have been lovely. Yes. Another time. Will you give me a call? Yes. Love to Frank. Yes, we will. Bye.
So, you've got something on tonight, have you?
Yes.
The Awakening Search.
If nothing better comes up, yes.
Was it somebody you didn't like?
No. Moira and Frank Osborne get on very well. Used to see a lot of them when Henry was alive.
Then you didn't fancy what they were inviting you for?
No. Dinner with the Wilsons, who I like a lot, and Moira's a terrific cook. No, it would have been a good evening.
Then why on earth... You haven't got anything on this evening. Oh, dear, you can't afford it, Sarah.
What do you mean?
I mean that now you're a widow, you can't afford pride.
Well, I'm getting sick of it, Russell. I'm the same person as I was before Henry died, but now, just because I've got the tag widow hanging round my neck, I'm expected to adapt to a completely different way of life.
Oh, think yourself lucky you get the chance. In some countries, you'd have to immolate yourself on Henry's funeral pyre.
At times I can see the advantages of that. At least then you don't have to worry about not being invited to dinner parties.
True.
Or worry about how pathetic it is to be worrying about something as pathetic as not being invited to dinner parties.
Yes.
Or worry about being treated like a spectre at the feast when you are invited to dinner parties. You know, what's really humbling about it is to discover how little one signifies on one's own, as a woman. I mean, everyone used to invite out Henry and Sarah, and I assumed, with what in retrospect looks like arrogance, that our appeal was equal. 50% Henry, 50% me. Well, I'm afraid I got the proportions horribly wrong. Take Henry away and see how many people want to invite Sarah on her own. Of course, if I was a widower, I'd be fine. Everyone wants a spare man. But a spare woman over 40, you can't give one away with soap.
Yeah, well, that's only true if you still think in terms of married couples types of entertaining. If you've got men and women matched up in some sort of social square dance, then of course it looks odd when there's one without a partner.
But so much of entertaining is like that. Do-si-do, thank you very much, pass on to the couple next door.
Well, it needn't be. What married couples never seem to realise is that their way is not the only way. Lots of people just don't fit into the square dance.
Sure, but...
Bob and me, for instance. We always throw out the careful planning of dinner party hostess because, very thoughtlessly, we happen to be of the same sex. Wreaks havoc with the seating plans, so we just don't get invited to that sort of dinner party. There's a world elsewhere, Sarah. You've just got to think outside the limits of the sort of social life you've had with Henry.
What, do all the things recommended in smug little books on how to cope with widowhood? Join clubs, join church groups, offer my services as prompter for the local amateur dramatic society, take up evening classes in basket work?
Oh, yes, if necessary, yes. Your mother was right, Sarah. You must develop a bit of humility if you're going to rebuild your social life.
But why should I have to rebuild it? That's what makes me so bloody angry. I'm not just going to give in, do the little widow things. Somehow I am going to get back to a normal social life.
I think you're prejudging the issue by using that word, Sarah.
Normal? Well, I'm afraid that's still the way it feels. Being widowed feels abnormal. Suddenly you're a social misfit. And you'll find if you're not careful, you're spending all your time with other misfits. Other widows, single people, lonely people, people much older than you, divorcees and...
Gays?
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say it.
Oh, Mummy, there you are. I thought I heard you come in.
Yes.
You're late.
Claire, I thought we were going to respect each other's privacy.
Sorry, didn't mean to pry.
Nothing to pry about as it happens. I just had to smooth a few ruffled feathers.
Russell?
Yes. I took him for a drink after we closed. I had just, without thinking, been incredibly tactless to him. I don't know. I seem to have an unerring ability to antagonise everyone at the moment.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, wouldn't you?
No, I don't think you're any worse at the moment than usual.
You are a comfort to me, Claire. To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
Oh, there was a phone message for you from Wendy Sweeton.
Oh, how nice. I haven't heard from her for ages.
Inviting you for dinner.
When, tonight?
No.
Tomorrow?
No, a week on Saturday.
Oh. But that's about the right time in advance to invite someone for dinner.
Yes.
Nearly a fortnight away.
Yes, Mummy, what are you on about?
Nothing. I was just thinking... I mean, I haven't heard from Wendy and Brown for... Oh, must be more than a year.
No, that's what Wendy said.
I see. So suddenly pity and social conscience stirred, and they magnanimously decided to invite the little widow woman out.
They've been in Spain for the last year. Brian got posted to Madrid.
Oh. So they just invited me for no reason?
Well, presumably because they want to see you.
Yes, I suppose that's possible.
Mummy, why are you always looking for an ulterior motive in everything?
I'm not, I bet they've invited somebody chronically difficult and don't want to waste any of their real friends on him.
Mummy, for heaven's sake, they've invited the Wilsons.
Oh, I like them.
The Brownlows.
I like them, too.
And some other man they said you didn't know.
Who is he?
His name's Chris Wellington.
Oh, no, he'll probably be some incredibly boring diplomat Brown knows through work. He'll be rabidly right-wing, have an awful professional wife with perfect pleats and a meaningless smile. He'll probably have hairs growing out of his ears and nostrils.
Mummy, be quiet and listen. Wendy said he's terribly nice.
Oh.
Very lively and amusing.
Ah.
He's a widower.
Oh, no, I get it.
Get what?
The ulterior motive. Put all the freaks in the same cage. It'll be worse than if he was just a bore.
What do you mean?
Well, don't you see what Wendy's doing?
No.
She's matchmaking. Huh, that's all I need.
Put the kettle on, Sarah. Sit down and I'll tell you everything.
What?
Do as I say. Put the kettle on.
Oh, what is this?
I found out all about him.
Who?
This Chris Wellington, of course.
Mother, what the hell have you been doing?
There's no need to take that tone with me, Sarah. I've just been doing a bit of research for you, saving you the trouble.
And did you stop to ask yourself whether or not I might want any research done?
Well, obviously, dear, if you're being paired off with this man, then
I am not being paired off with anyone, and I am sick to death of your constant invasions of my privacy.
But, Sarah...
Quiet, Mother.
But when you hear what I found out about him...
It couldn't interest me less.
I got it from Valerie Brown on the pension counter's sister Mary. She knows all about him because her cousin Deirdre cleans for
Mother,
him.
haven't I yet made it clear that I do not wish to hear your geriatric gossip?
Well, I just thought you might like to know about him.
Then you were wrong, weren't you?
But when you hear about the job he does...
Don't you understand? The pleasure of meeting new people should be finding out about them, talking to them, letting information come out in the course of conversation. One of the many things that irks me about living in a small country town is that never happens. Every new person who appears on the social scene has been so processed and shredded by the gossip machine that when you finally do meet them, you've got nothing left to talk about.
Well, I always think there's something nice about knowing people's background.
Well, I don't. I like to keep a few surprises in life. Have you got that?
Yes, dear.
Now, you are welcome to come down here to have a cup of tea, but can we please keep the conversation away from fatuous conjectures about my private life?
Yes, Sarah? Of course, Sarah.
What does he do, then?
What does who do, dear?
This Chris Wellington person.
Ah, well, now, this is interesting. Valerie Brown, on the pension counter's sister Mary's cousin Deirdre, only gave me a few hints, but it seems that he works for Shell, quite high up. head of a department or something. And most of the week he lives in a flat in the Barbican. But he's got this cottage down here, and he's gradually, over the next few years, going to be moving his base down here and spending more time in the cottage and less in the flat. His wife, whose name was Helen, died nearly 4 years ago of cancer, and he's got 2 grown-up children. The boy, that's Miles, has just started working for a merchant bank in the city, and the girl, who's called Joanna, is in the 2nd year of a degree course in drama at Bristol University.
And you got that lot from a few hints?
Yes. I could probably find out a bit more.
No, Mother, no. I think that's quite sufficient. Short of his size in shirts and how many lumps of sugar he takes in his tea, I seem to know everything.
Apparently he's terribly nice, very amusing and thoughtful, terrific company.
Well, I'll be able to judge that for myself on Saturday, won't I?
Yes. Oh, I do hope something comes of this. I mean, since Henry died, you really have needed a man about to...
Mother, listen. On Saturday, I'm going out to dinner to meet a variety of friends I haven't seen for a long time. There will also be a man there who I haven't met before. I look forward to a pleasant evening. That's it. That's all. Got it?
Yes, dear. And you're not nervous about it?
No, I am not bloody nervous about it.
The kettle's boiled, Sarah, dear.
What's that one?
Old Pybus by Warwick Deeping.
Oh.
Worth anything?
No, I shouldn't think so. It's desperately unfashionable. There's nothing so dead as another generation's bestsellers. Let's have a look, though. I suppose it might be worth something if it's a first. Dare say there's someone around who collects Warwick Deeping. Oh, no. Popular edition. No good.
What shall I do? Put it on the 10p table?
Yes, I suppose so. I can't think anyone will buy it, but at least I won't have to be responsible for throwing it away.
You never can do that with a book, can you?
Oh, no, against my religion. Well, tonight, is it? You're going to this dinner party?
Yes.
Should be fun.
Yes. Oh, it's pathetic, Russell, how nervous I feel. I mean, it's daft, only going out for dinner, for God's sake. Henry and I used to do that once or twice a week without thinking about it.
Well, it's not the first time we've been out to a dinner party since he died.
No, of course not. But you think you'd get used to going on your own, hardened to it. Doesn't seem to work that way. I seem to have less confidence each time rather than more.
It'll be fine.
Of course it will. And even if it isn't, it doesn't matter. I mean, what's the worst it can be? Boring. I can cope with that. I've coped with many boring situations in the past.
So nothing to worry about.
No. Oh, it infuriates me. How I can recognise all this, recognise how little it really matters, and still get as twitchy as a teenager on her first date.
Is it the first date element that's making you twitchy?
What do you mean?
Well, this man, this Prince Charming who's been set up for you.
Well, that certainly doesn't help. I don't know, it just seems so public. 3 married couples and a man and a woman who haven't met. It'll be as if we both have great big signs over our heads saying, these two are supposed to get off together.
Well, you may like him or not.
Yes, or I may hate him. Whatever we think of each other, I don't think there's much chance of either of us behaving naturally. It'll be like a gladiatorial contest with every member of the crowd watching to see how we get on.
Ready to give you the thumbs up or the thumbs down?
Oh, God, I wish it was tomorrow.
Oh, Sarah, come on.
Yes. Just makes me so bloody cross to be reduced to a gibbering adolescent over nothing so corny. I'm degenerating into a walking cliché. Do you know, last night I even looked in my wardrobe and came to the conclusion that I hadn't got a thing to wear. All my sort of formal dresses look horribly dated, you know. Being just out of fashion is worse than being totally out of fashion.
The Warwick Deeping syndrome.
Yes, right. Thing is, I don't think I can really afford to go out and buy something. And anyway, new dress always looks like a new dress, and that'd look as if I was treating this evening like it was a big deal.
Which, of course, you aren't.
No.
So, what are you going to wear?
I don't know. I've got this long blue skirt, which doesn't look too much like an archaeological exhibit, and I don't know... Oh, for heaven's sake, Russell, it doesn't matter!
No, of course it doesn't.
Mummy.
Oh, hello, darling. Glad you haven't gone out.
No, but I'll be off in about half an hour, meeting Gary at the White Horse.
Claire, I wonder if I could borrow something.
Yes, of course. What, coffee or...
No, Claire, I wondered, could I possibly borrow...
Yes?
That white lace blouse of yours?
What? The white lace blouse with
Yes, the white lace blouse with the, Can I?
Yes, Mummy. Of course you can.
So, Mother, I'm just off now.
Just a minute.
Don't bother to come down. I'll see you when...
I do just want to see how you look,
There's
dear.
no need, Mother.
Why on earth have you got your coat on? It's very mild this evening.
I thought it might get cooler later. Look,
let me have a look at you. See the ensemble.
No, I think I'd better be off. It's getting late.
We're only 10 minutes away. Now do it.
Mummy, I found that clasp I was talking about. One that goes with the white...
Thank you, darling. I won't need it. Look, I must be off.
But, Mummy...
Clara,
See you in the morning. Bye.
Claire, what was your mother wearing under that coat?
Oh, I lent her something of mine.
What?
A blouse.
Not the white lace blouse with the...
Yes, the white lace blouse with the...
Oh, dear.
What's the matter?
Just because your mother's a widow, there's no need for her to flaunt herself.
Thank you for driving me home, Chris.
Think nothing of it. Not out of my way.
You don't have to.
What?
Put your arm around me.
Oh.
I mean, if you don't want to, don't feel you have to. I know every cliché situation provides its own conventions, but you don't have to follow them.
No. What if I want to put my arm round you?
Well, put it round by all means. What will happen then is that I'll discreetly remove it and get out of the car in an atmosphere of slight embarrassment. I'd rather stay in the car and talk.
Sorry. Yes, I suppose I was being a victim of conventions. Oh, not just that, of course.
How gallant, thank you.
No, I mean, you are looking very good. You know, in that blouse...
The blouse was a gesture of confidence, misplaced, I'm afraid. Had the opposite effect of what was intended. As the evening progressed, I just felt more and more unsuitably dressed.
No, it was fine.
Not my usual style.
Difficult to maintain one's usual style at evenings like that.
Yes, it did all feel a bit artificial. I think maybe I've moved on a bit from that sort of dinner party.
Know what you mean. Nice people there.
Oh, yes, very nice. Very sensitive.
Yes. You know, I sometimes find people can be too bloody sensitive. I mean, about Helen. Okay, she died. And I was very upset. But that doesn't mean her name can't be spoken.
I get the same. Did you notice Henry wasn't mentioned all evening? It was as if he'd never existed. And those were all people who knew us well as a couple.
Yes. They mean to be kind, of course, as they tiptoe around you, careful not to touch any bit that might still be sore. It's as if you've got a huge label saying fragile stuck on your forehead.
Or as if you're suffering from an infectious disease.
In quarantine.
How long does that quarantine last?
I don't know. A long time. I'm nearly 4 years in and I still haven't been completely discharged.
Still, one shouldn't be ungrateful. People keep telling me that as a little widow woman I should pounce on any crumbs of invitations that come my way.
Well, I wouldn't have thought you lacked for invitations.
Well, thanks. That's a nice thing to say. Inaccurate, but nice. Presumably, when it comes to invitations, you can't move for them. You are, after all, a spare man.
Oh, sure. Knowing a spare man is like owning a ladder long enough to reach the gutters. Everyone wants to borrow it sometime. Oh, yes, every dinner party where there's a younger sister who's just split up with her boyfriend, or a recent divorcee.
An embarrassing widow.
All right, yes. Anyway, any such situation and I get hauled along. God, it can be boring.
I'm sure, getting lumbered with life's walking wounded.
I didn't mean you. I'm just saying that with some of them it can be pretty boring trying to make conversation.
And equally boring having to drive them home.
Sometimes.
Boring making the statutory grope.
Frequently, yes. But I suppose one needs sex.
Don't sound very convinced.
I'm not sure that I am. I find sex with someone I've only just met is a bit like something I have to do quite a lot at work. Make farewell speeches at the retirement parties of colleagues I don't know very well. An atmosphere of social unease and forced conviviality.
Do many of your dinner party pickups offer you conviviality?
I don't know about offer. A few succumb, I suppose.
With enthusiasm?
I'd say resignation was a more common reaction.
And then afterwards you present them with engraved barometers in recognition of 20 minutes loyal service. You do realise, don't you, Chris, that I'm not going to succumb tonight?
Yes, I realise. God, that's a relief.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't mean...
I know what you meant. You meant, God, what a relief that it's possible for a man and a woman to get on together without feeling they have to be fancying each other.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
You know, it's one of the nicest insults I've ever been offered.
Sarah, dear. I can't claim to be very keen on this idea of reading newspapers at Sunday lunch.
Ah.
It's a habit your mother's got from you, Claire. Sarah, dear, we haven't talked about last night yet.
Oh, that's true. Respecting each other's privacy, remember?
Oh, of course. It's not that I'm curious. I just do think it's nice for people to take an interest in what other members of their families do. Don't you?
Oh, I see. Right. Did you have a pleasant evening with Ernest Moore?
Yes, thank you, dear. Very pleasant.
Good. Still keeping it all platonic?
Yes.
I'm sure you're very wise.
So, now you know all about my evening.
Yes, that's true.
It's only natural for a mother to be interested in what her daughter does. It's part of her maternal duty, really.
Yes, you're right. Claire, darling, did you have a good time last night?
Yes, thank you, Mummy.
Good.
Sarah, you're being deliberately obtuse. I want to know about Chris Wellington.
Ah.
Well?
He was very pleasant.
And?
And what?
Pleasant and?
And nicely mannered? I don't know. What do you want me to say?
I want to know what happened.
You know what happened. We were both invited to the Sweetens for dinner. We met, we talked, we had a pleasant evening.
And?
And Wendy sent you her love.
Oh. And Chris Wellington?
He didn't send you his love. He never met you.
Sarah, for goodness sake, stop being facetious. Are you going to see him again?
No idea.
You mean he didn't invite you out?
No, Mother.
Oh. But it was a pleasant evening.
Yes, thank you. A very pleasant evening.
Oh. Oh, well, good. And you're sure that...
Quite sure, Mother.
Oh.
Now, would anyone like some...
Mummy?
Hello, Clara.
Have you got a photo of me as a baby?
Of course I have. Oodles of them. First babies get photographed more than royalty.
Well, could I have one, please?
Certainly. May take a minute or two to track it down. I've never been very good at sticking photos in albums and that kind of thing.
No, you haven't.
Seems to me there are two sorts of people when it comes to photographs. Those that file away and mark up every last snapshot.
And those like you, who don't even file away and mark up every first snapshot.
Well, yes, well, all right. Oh, there's Poodley.
Let's have a look.
He was a sweet cat. Pity he got run over.
Yes.
I think that was the first thing in your life that got you really upset, Claire.
Well, there have been a few others since, haven't there?
Yes, Claire. Oh, I remember that little white patch on Poodley's forehead. Do you remember why you called him Poodley?
Yes, I do.
Because you said you wanted a poodle for Christmas and Daddy couldn't stand dogs, so when you got a cat, you called
Look, Mummy, I said I remember.
What?
One of your most infuriating habits is to say, do you remember something? And then, even though I said yes, proceed to tell me about it.
I'm sorry, but that's how reminiscence works. It's shared memories. One person says, do you remember this? And then somebody else says, do you remember that? And then everybody does it.
Doesn't make it any less infuriating.
No, all right. Sorry, Claire. Anyway, when's this sudden interest in what you look like as a baby?
I need it for this 18th birthday party of Katie's.
Oh, I'm glad you changed your mind about that. When you got the invitation, you said you felt too miserable to go.
I still feel too miserable to go. I'm only going to stop people saying, you must stop brooding, Claire. You must get out more and see more people.
Ah, right. Why do you need the photograph of you as a baby?
Because we're all going to take photographs and they're all going to be stuck on the wall with numbers on them and we'll all have to guess who was which baby.
Sounds fun. Oh, look, love.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say anything.
All right. Oh, look, there you are in your pram at the back of Granny's big house. Will that one do?
Yes.
It was so sweet.
Well, I'm not now, am I?
Yes, you are. To my eyes, anyway.
You should go to an optician. I'm not sweet. I'm bitter and wizened and twisted.
You're not, Claire. You're just still in a bad state after breaking up with Julian.
I said we weren't going to talk about that.
No. All right. Oh, look. There's Henry with the old Morris Traveller in Cornwall.
Oh.
Actually, there's lots of lovely stuff here. Would you like to have a look through and see?
No.
Okay.
I must go. Can I have the photograph?
Be careful with it, won't you?
Isn't it incredible that a tiny little harmless thing like that could develop into such a god-awful mess?
Claire.
Hello, Sarah, dear. Hello, Claire.
Hello, Mother.
Looking at all the old family photographs, are you?
No, actually, we were just trying to find something...
I love that one of you, Claire. You were such a pretty baby, so pretty.
Look,
I'd better be going.
I've got a good idea, Sarah.
What?
Well, since we're being all nostalgic, why don't I go and get all my albums?
No, Mother, I really don't think that's a terribly good idea.
I won't be a minute, dear. I know exactly where I can lay my hands on
Mother,
them.
I don't think anyone's interested... Absolutely. She just doesn't listen. I mean, you don't want to see all Granny's photographs, do you, Claire?
Wouldn't mind.
But Claire, when I asked if you wanted to look at my photographs, you said... Claire, has anyone ever told you you're perverse?
Yes, Mummy. You have. Often.
Oh.
And this one, you see, Claire, is the whole family group. Must be, I suppose, 1953, perhaps.
Why's Grandpa looking at you like that?
What? He's not looking at me like anything.
He looks really furious.
Oh, no, that's just a trick of the light.
It isn't a trick of the light. I remember that expression of Daddy's when he was really miffed about something.
And you know who that funny little scrap in the front is, Claire, with the pigtails?
It's Mummy.
Ah, you recognise me.
No, I didn't. It's just the way Granny set up the question. She couldn't possibly have been referring to anyone else.
Anyway, you're quite right, of course, Claire. It is Sarah. I remember the day that photograph was taken as if it were yesterday. Sarah had just been very naughty, and I'm afraid I'd had to talk to her rather sharply. And
I don't think Claire wants to hear about that, Mother.
Oh, yes, I do. Why had you been cross with her?
Well, it was getting very autumnal, and I'd just discovered Sarah's liberty bodice hidden behind the chair in her room.
Oh.
I think the problem with your anecdote, Mother, could be that Claire doesn't know what a liberty bodice is, or should I say was.
Don't be silly, Sarah, dear. Of course Claire knows what a liberty bodice is. Don't you, Claire?
No, Granny, sorry.
Well, it's like... I mean, the name is self-explanatory.
I'll give you a clue, love. It's a garment.
A garment called a liberty bodice. Is it sort of the opposite of a chastity belt?
No, it isn't, Claire. Anyway, all I'm saying is that Sarah and I had just had a bit of a contretemps, which is why she's looking so sour.
I don't think I look sour. It's just a trick of the light.
You take my word for it, Sarah. You'd been extremely tiresome that day, fractious and overexcited. And your father didn't help at all. As ever, he kept spoiling you and kowtowing to you. I had to tell him not to. It only encouraged you.
Oh, I see. You just torn him off a strip, and that's why Daddy was looking so angry.
What?
Sorry, why he looked as if a trick of the light had just hit him.
Sarah, you're sometimes very childish.
Oh, dear.
I think I'll show Claire that one of you when you went off to the pop concert.
Oh, no, Mother. Anything but that. No, please.
Somewhere here.
No, it's absolutely dreadful. I mean, fashion's changed so horrible. I look like a freak out of the museum. Please, Mother.
There, Claire. What do you think of that?
Not bad.
What?
Quite cool, actually.
Cool? That dreadful sheepskin waistcoat and the long droopy hair and those frightful little round glasses. Claire, look at those flares.
Brilliant.
Sorry?
Ace.
What? Well, that stuff looks appalling.
Oh, don't be such a fuddy-duddy, Mummy. You must keep up with the times.
I just...
Now, Claire, would you like to see some pictures of me as a little girl?
Oh, yeah, that'd be good for a laugh.
What?
No, I mean, that would be... Yes, love to.
There. Now, that's me in the back garden of my parents' house. After Christmas lunch in a few years back.
It's a bit blurred.
Yes, well, photography wasn't very advanced in those days.
You sure it hasn't got anything to do with the fact that the person taking the photograph had had a few drinks?
What?
Oh, come on, Mother. That's what it looks like. And after Christmas lunch, most people have had a few too many.
Sarah, my father took that photograph. Your grandfather.
Well, so maybe my grandfather had had a few too many.
Don't be ridiculous, Sarah. People didn't do that sort of thing in those days.
Of course they did.
Well, they didn't talk about it, which comes to the same thing.
I think there might be a tiny flaw in the logic of that sentence, Mother.
Who's the other little girl with you?
Oh, that's Sarah's Auntie Lillian.
The one who lives in Canada?
That's right.
I didn't realise she was the same age as you.
Oh, she's quite a lot older.
But she's a lot smaller than you are.
Smaller, yes, but older.
If she's older than you...
Which, as I say, she is.
She must be incredibly ancient.
Yes. Yes, poor dear.
Pretty hideous dress she was wearing. All that smocking. And that dreadful bow in her hair.
Yes, I'm afraid dress sense was never Lillian's strong point. Last time I saw her, when she was over in London in the 70s, do you know, her shoes and handbag didn't match.
Wow. She's your cousin, isn't she?
Mm. And I'm afraid rather the off-white sheep of the family.
But always good value.
What do you mean, good value?
Well, fun, lively.
Really? Well, if drinking a lot of gin and telling rather risky stories is good value, then I suppose Lillian certainly does give you your money's worth. Do you know, Claire, she got through 3 husbands.
Gosh, must be a game old bird.
What?
Well, as Mummy says, she does sound fun.
I don't think she's much fun now. Almost completely gaga, according to Cousin Roland, who saw her a couple of years back.
Oh, but Cousin Roland can't be said.
Actually, Lillian was in disgrace when that photograph was taken.
Everyone seems to be in disgrace when they're photographed with you.
What?
Nothing.
No, she'd been very naughty. It was discovered that someone had been tampering with the presents under the tree on Christmas morning.
Dear, dear.
Some little hands, namely Lillian's, had been feeling the presents to find out what was in them, and this was the naughty bit that actually changed 2 of them round.
How?
Well, not changed the presents round, changed the labels. You see, Uncle Everard and Auntie Winnie had given me a porcelain doll and had only given Lillian a box of handkerchiefs, and, well, Lillian wasn't best pleased about that, so the cheeky little minx had actually tried to change them round.
Wow.
Unfortunately for her, my father came into the room.
This was after lunch, was it?
Yes.
So he was already drunk.
Claire. Sarah, honestly, you two are like a couple of schoolgirls.
Sorry, Mama, sorry.
So Lillian got into trouble, did she?
Yes, I'm afraid she did. Rather serious trouble. My father was not amused by that sort of behaviour.
No. So she really was in disgrace.
Oh, yes.
Is that why you've got such a smug expression on your face?
What?
In the photograph.
Let me see. That's not a smug expression, Claire. It's just a trick of the light.
Here, this one's lovely. Look.
Oh, yes. Are these all in with the encyclopedias?
Yeah. Shall we start a bygone books old photograph section?
I know people buy old postcards, Russell, but would they buy old photographs?
Yes, certainly it's a booming market.
Yes, art photographs, but do you think ordinary family snapshots?
Yes, I'm sure they would. It's a nice idea, really. If you don't like the family God gave you, just buy up a whole new set.
Yeah, good catch on. Oh, I mean, look at this, oh dear. Wouldn't you say that was the archetypal granny figure?
Yes. Roses round her cottage door, cosy smell of baking cake wafting from her kitchen, soft fluffy cheek on which the little ones plant their kisses.
I can imagine lots of people buying that, putting it in a frame and claiming it as their own grandmother.
Probably easier to cope with than the real thing.
In most cases, yes.
Apropos of nothing, how is Eleanor?
Well, she's, well, whatever she is, she doesn't get any less so with the passage of years.
No, her carapace of confidence and her conviction of her own rightness hardening with each passing minute.
Exactly. Oh, I do sometimes wish just once that she could be in the wrong. It would do her a hell of a lot of good.
Is she ever in the right?
Not so as you'd notice, but she'll never admit it. I would love just once to see her forced into a position from which even she couldn't avoid admitting that she was in the wrong.
I see.
Vindictive little daughter, aren't I?
No more vindictive than most daughters.
No, perhaps not. Oh, look at those two. No question about who wore the trousers in that relationship, is there?
No.
It's almost uncanny how much you know about them just from looking at this.
I find old photographs always have a strange aura about them, prompting ruminations on change and decay and mortality.
Are those such cheery subjects?
Thinking what people were like, what their state of mind was at the moment the shutter clicked, wondering whether it ever occurred to them that their image might one day be pored over by strangers in a second-hand bookshop. Even more bizarre with old pornographic photographs.
What?
I mean the idea of people taking their clothes off and going to all those poses all those years ago. There's something odd about looking at a pornographic photograph as someone who must, by all the rules of chronology, be dead. Particularly if it still comes across as sexy.
So you find the thought morbid, undignified, demeaning, depressing? What?
No, not really. None of those. Just bizarre. Do you have that reaction?
Don't know. Never really thought about it. And actually, Russ, I do rather suspect that my experience of pornographic photographs is a bit more limited than yours.
Probably. Of course, it must have been very difficult being a pornographic model in the early days of photography.
Why?
Well, long exposures.
Eh?
Well, they'd have to hold their poses for a very long time, wouldn't they?
Oh, yes. Hadn't thought of that. One's respect for their skills increases, doesn't it?
Certainly. And, of course, before photography, it must have been even worse.
What?
Well, imagine being a model for a pornographic tapestry. You could be there for years.
Will you have a little more sherry, Sarah, dear?
Oh, thanks. Just a slurp.
Slurp? What a very unattractive expression.
Yes, but evocative.
It doesn't evoke anything very nice in my mind.
Why does everything have to be nice, Mother?
Well, when everything's nice, it's just nice.
I see. Well, I must drink this nicely and then go down and face the ironing. I think every garment I possess is in that pile.
Yes, well, of course, Sarah, if you designated one evening a week your ironing evening, you wouldn't get into this kind of... will you excuse me?
I'll excuse you with pleasure when you're sounding off about my stubbornness, Mother.
Hello?
Hello. Eleanor?
Yes? Who is this?
Lillian.
Good gracious.
Look, I wanted to get in touch because we haven't spoken since when...
Oh, you've been cut off. Or more likely she's cut herself off.
Who's cut herself off?
Lillian.
Auntie Lillian?
Yes, that was Auntie Lillian phoning from Canada.
Goodness.
She sounded very frail, poor old dear. According to Cousin Roland, she hardly gets out of the house at all these days.
Oh, wonder why she was phoning.
No, she think very probably to wish me a happy 75th birthday.
But your 75th birthday was last year.
I know, dear, but I gather Lillian's getting very confused these days.
What, age?
Age, yes. I don't think the gins helped either. And I didn't hear anything from her when it was my birthday, so I should think she's probably got her dates mixed up and... excuse me.
Of course, Mother.
Hello?
That's better.
Oh, you managed to get through again, Lillian, dear. Well done.
What? Bloody hotel switchboard cut me off.
Oh, did they? She thinks she's living in a hotel now, Sarah. Whatever next. So you're living in a hotel, are you, Lillian?
Yes.
So you're not in your house at the moment?
No.
Oh, I see. This hotel wouldn't be a sort of private hotel, would it? More in the nature of a home? An eventide home, perhaps?
Eleanor, I don't know what you're gibbering about. Have you gone completely gaga?
What?
Look, I'm staying in a hotel near Victoria.
Victoria? Now, that's near Vancouver, isn't it, Lillian, dear?
No, you fool. Victoria Station.
Victoria Station?
Yes. I'm staying in a hotel near Victoria Station in London. Have you finally got that?
Yes, I have.
Oh, thank goodness. Cousin Roland may have had a point.
Cousin Roland? What's he got to do with it?
Just that he told me you were completely gaga, Eleanor.
Oh, did he?
So what was Cousin Roland playing at? Sheer malice? Was it his idea of a practical joke?
Well, it could have been, but I don't think so. Quite honestly, I think he was just trying to be nice. I mean, clearly there has been a degree of rivalry between the two of them in the past. So far as Cousin Roland knew, they were never going to meet again, and so he implied to each that the other one was gaga.
Telling them what they wanted to hear.
Yes.
But as it turns out, they are going to meet again.
Sunday lunch. Mother was extremely unkeen about the whole idea, kept asking if Auntie Lillian was sure she could cope with the journey.
Well, she coped with the journey from Canada to London.
The very point that Auntie Lillian made. Oh no, Auntie Lillian is very determined that the encounter should take place. I think Mother's beginning to relish the idea rather now.
How about you? Looking forward to it?
Well, let's say I think it'll be interesting rather than relaxing. You see, Clare and I will have to be on our very, very, very best behaviour. Mother will be showing us off, you see.
Ah.
Because in spite of the 3 marriages, Auntie Lillian never had any children.
So you become your mother's trump card?
Yes. Horrible thought.
Well, why? What precisely is Eleanor likely to do with you?
I don't know. I've just a feeling that over the next few days I'm going to find out what it feels like to be entered for crafts.
I'm not at all sure, Sarah, dear. Haven't you got anything a bit more distinctive?
Distinctive?
Yes, I mean, that charcoal suit's very nice, but it's not exactly...
Not exactly what? Distinctive?
Yes, I mean, you could be just anyone.
I am just anyone. Just a widow in her 40s whose mother's cousin is coming for lunch.
Yes, but I just wish you were wearing something that made a bit more impact.
Mother, you know my wardrobe inside out. If it's impact you're after, I have nothing to suggest. Unless you want me to put on the Cleopatra outfit I wore to the Sweetens fancy dress party.
Don't be frivolous, Sarah. I'm thinking of you, not myself, dear.
You could have fooled me.
You don't want Auntie Lillian to think you look ordinary, do you?
I honestly don't care, Mother. I want to look like I look. If that is ordinary, then so be it.
You have to make an effort for guests.
Why? Why not just relax when you're entertaining?
Relax? Entertaining has nothing to do with relaxation, Sarah. Good entertaining is the product of a great deal of effort.
Yes, maybe.
And if you're not prepared to put in that effort, then I am.
But, Mother, you must see...
Morning.
Hello.
Oh, that looks very nice, Claire, dear. A very nice ensemble.
Well, I thought I'd make an effort.
What?
What?
Oh, don't listen to your mother. She's just jealous of your natural clothes sense.
What?
One tiny thing, Claire. You won't be wearing that much lipstick, will you?
What?
Well, you have got rather a lot on.
It's fashionable to have a lot on.
Yes, but I'm afraid lipstick does still carry connotations.
Connotations?
Yes, Claire, you've heard of the painted woman of Babylon, haven't you?
I'm sorry, Claire. Sarah's being very childish this morning. Don't listen to her.
I want to know what's wrong with my lipstick.
Well, it's just that a lot of lipstick does still, I'm afraid, in many people's minds, carry overtones of loose morality.
Oh.
And with Auntie Lillian coming, I just...
But I saw a recent photograph of Auntie Lillian, and she had oodles of lipstick on.
I think that rather proves my point, Claire, dear.
Mother?
Don't forget Lillian has had 3 husbands.
Having had 3 husbands is not necessarily a sign of moral depravity.
No, I agree. It isn't. Not necessarily.
Mother, I've got to go and do the potatoes.
Oh, Sarah?
Yes?
You will be brushing your hair before lunch, won't you?
Yes, Mother, I will, unless, of course, you'd rather do it for me to make sure that it's done properly.
That might be an idea, actually, Sarah.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I bet you're really deep down disappointed that my hair isn't still long enough for you to put it into pigtails.
Well, now you mention it, your pigtails always did look very nice, Sarah, dear.
And, of course, since our parents lived so close, it was inevitable we spent a lot of our childhood together, wasn't it, Eleanor?
Well, yes, I suppose...
And what with us both being so much of an age, well, everyone thought we were bound to get on.
Yes. What is the age difference between you?
2 years.
Oh, so you'll be coming up for your 80th birthday soon, Auntie Lillian?
What? No, I've a little while to go yet, Claire. I am 2 years younger than Eleanor.
But, Granny, you said that you...
I think Lillian would probably like some more coffee, Sarah.
Oh, of course. Would you?
Thank you.
Mother?
Just half a cup, thank you, dear.
Oh, Eleanor, you haven't changed, have you?
I beg your pardon?
Always used to do that. Just half a cup and, just a little bit of bread with a scraping of butter on it. Just one rasher of bacon, please. Oh, used to drive me mad.
I don't see that there's anything wrong with having a small appetite.
No, not if that's what you've got. You always used to do that, pussyfooting about how little you wanted and then keep coming back for seconds.
Well,
After dinner mince, anyone?
Oh, thank you.
I do hope your leg's better now, Lillian.
Leg?
Cousin Roland said you'd had trouble with your leg.
Don't know where he got that from. Same place as he got that business about you being gaga, I dare say.
And about your being gaga, Lillian, dear.
Yes. At least, having seen you, I know he was completely wrong about that.
Oh.
No, you're as devious as ever you were.
Oh.
But, no, there's nothing wrong with my leg or any other part of me. Still play 3 rounds of golf a week.
Do you? That's very impressive.
Do you play golf at all these days, Eleanor?
Golf?
Yes. You remember we both started having lessons together in our teens.
Oh, yes, of course. No, I didn't pursue it. I could never really see the point of knocking little balls all over the countryside.
No. You weren't much good at it, were you? You even stopped Geoffrey from playing, didn't you?
Yes, I remember when Daddy gave up golf. I didn't realise you'd actually stopped him, Mother.
Well, I didn't, of course not. I may have passed some comment about the amount of time it took or how long your father spent in the golf club bar.
Yes, well, we all know about your ways of passing comment, Eleanor. Also, I don't think you liked his interest in the lady members of the club.
Oh, really, Lillian? Now you're just being silly. Geoffrey never thought about another woman.
No?
Certainly not. I saw to it that he didn't.
I don't think you knew everything about Geoffrey.
Of course I did. I was his wife.
Not necessarily the best qualification. Do you remember that Christmas, soon after you were married, when we all went to stay in that hotel in Cornwall?
Oh, yes, of course. And remind me, which husband were you with then, Lillian?
Number 2. But he'd had to go back to London, and you'd gone to bed early because you claimed you had a migraine. And Geoffrey and I went for a walk down by the sea.
You should talk about Christmas, Auntie Lillian. Only last week we were looking at some photographs of you and Mother on another Christmas day.
Oh, yes?
I don't think Lillian wants to hear about that,
Oh,
Sarah.
yes, I do. Where are the photographs?
Claire, love, they're still in that drawer in the sitting room. Would you mind?
No, sure.
Do you still hear from your husbands, Lillian, dear? Any of them?
Well, Not from number 1, of course, but then he's dead, so I wouldn't.
No.
Number 3 rings up from time to time, but number 2 seems to have vanished off the face of the earth. No, I'm afraid number 2 was a bit of a mistake.
You mean the others weren't?
Well, the others were the right thing at the time. Both worked very well.
For a while.
Even number 2 worked very well for a while.
But rather a short while.
Yes. Problem with him was really just that he was oversexed.
Oh, really?
So it was wonderful in bed, but unfortunately I soon discovered I didn't have the exclusive rights to him in bed. Still, not much I could do about it. Some men are like that.
Men are only like that if you allow them to be like that. I certainly never allowed Geoffrey to be like that.
No, but you never allowed Geoffrey to be anything, did you?
What?
How about another of these lovely after-dinner mints?
I wouldn't say no. Thank you.
Here it is.
Oh, this will be interesting.
I don't think it will. We don't want to look at these dreadful blurred old snapshots, do we?
Mother, I thought you...
Here it is. Look, Aunt Lillian.
Oh, that Christmas.
Do you know, Sarah, dear, I'm suddenly not feeling at all well.
What? That was the Christmas when your father got drunk, and then there was that terrible scene.
Ah, Mummy thought he might be drunk.
Oh, yes. Oh, goodness, it all comes back. Just looking at you with that dreadful bow on your hair.
What? But, Granny, I thought you were the one with the...
frightful dress with the smocking. Oh, I can see it as if it were yesterday. Of course. I've suddenly remembered what the scene was about.
I feel rather as if one of my migraines is coming on, Sarah.
Oh, shut up, Eleanor. There's nothing wrong with you. No, that was the Christmas you got hauled over the coals for changing the labels on our presents, wasn't it?
What? No, I don't recall. I'm afraid my head's splitting.
Yes, because Uncle Everard and Auntie Winnie were going to give me a doll. And they were giving you a packet of handkerchiefs, which was very appropriate because you were always a snotty kid. But you decided you'd rather have...
Auntie Lillian, sorry.
What?
I don't think Mother's very well. She does get these terrible migraines.
Oh, no, they're all sham.
I think it would be a good idea if I took Mother to lie down for a while. Don't you think so, Mother?
I certainly don't feel at all well, dear.
Come along.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, excuse us, Auntie Lillian, won't you? Come on.
Nothing wrong with her, you know.
Probably not.
Eleanor always used to feign illness when things got tough. In our teens, it used to be fainting. First sign of trouble, someone would end up shoving her head between her knees. So, I gather you've just broken up with a boyfriend.
Yes.
And you're feeling lousy.
Yes.
You're hideous. You've a warped personality. No one will ever find you attractive again.
That's about it.
Oh, yes. I know. I've been there.
And how did you get out?
Well, I think first I got angry.
Oh, I'm angry.
Yes, but you're turning all the anger against yourself. You've got to externalize it a bit more.
Take it out on other people, you mean?
Always worked for me. And then, after a while, when the anger subsided, I'd,
What?
Well, no. I'm not sure my method would work for you, Claire.
Why? What did you do?
Remarry.
Oh, no. Maybe not. Still, thanks for the idea about the anger.
Any time.
I'll work on that.
Good for you.
So you got everything your little heart desired.
I suppose I did, Russell.
Eleanor was publicly shown up to be in the wrong, exactly what you'd been asking for.
Yes, and how did I react? Presented with my dearest wish on a plate, Mother being shown up as a shameless old fraud, what do? I start feeling sorry for her. I actually go to her rescue. I bail her out. Why do I do that?
Well, possibly because deep down through all your layers of defence and anger and cynicism, you're really rather a nice person.
Nice. Yuck. Mother's favourite term of approval. What a horrible, watery word nice is.
Yes.
Mind you, I don't think the whole experience has been wasted.
No?
No. Next time Mother gets really impossible, I will have the ultimate sanction against her.
Quick phone call to Canada.
That's it.
And how long do you think that sanction will make Eleanor toe the line?
Dunno, I'd say about, till tomorrow anyway. Sarah,